Sharia.
Why?
Because Sharia have to be followed.
Why? Because the Quran or tafsir is to explain the Sharia, not to explain Arabic. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the meaning is going to be whatever the Sharia meaning is in a thing, not just the linguistic meaning. Okay? If there is contradiction. Does that make sense? I saw people looking for moths. Okay, we're good? Okay, so I mentioned that for this point because la'alla means perhaps, perhaps it means maybe, no. In that case, it means definitely, certainly, without doubt. Perhaps you didn't do it right. That's the thing you need to look into. So la'alla, and here you have an old Arab poetry that says la'alla Allahi faddalakum alayna bi shay'in anna ummakum sharima. It's not a good thing to say. But there were two tribes, because whenever you have a proof saying that something is, you can use this word or not, you have to bring proof. And it has to be from the language of the Arabs al-Qadim, old Arabs. And they have this line in poetry that says, there was one group of Arabs bragging against another group. People have been thinking they're better than other people for the longest time. Shaitan started it and everybody picked it up afterwards, So this one group were thinking that they were better than another group, right? And so the other group heard about that and they destroyed them with one line of poetry. And they said, perhaps Allah favored y'all, maybe because they thought they were better. He said, perhaps Allah favored y'all over us in that your mothers were our, boom. And, and then that line came out and everybody started to recite that line. And so now that Kabila no longer is looked upon as being better than anybody. You understand how it goes? But the point for us is to show that la'alla is used as a harful khafdi, as a letter, a harf that makes whatever comes after it carry the kesra. Okay? Does that make sense? Because that's the only proof that I know that you find in that way. From any of the scholars, they mention the same proof, and there might be others, but they establish it from that one. And hatta. What does everybody say? Hatta. Hatta is such a powerful word that they say it has so many meanings. Hatta. You know what I'm saying? So hatta, hatta means until, it means still, it means, like you say, hatta matla'il fajr. Don't you see it in the Quran? Hatta matla'il fajr. Huh? Even. It means even, which means still, hatta. You see the Mauritanians arguing all the time. They say, haq. He says, you're wrong. He says, haqbat. He says, hatta. It's still, when you're lying, you see how to say, hatta. So, meaning it's still, you're still a liar. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So, hatta. But when you use hatta, you see in the Quran, Allah says, hatta matla'il. The kasra, it brings kasra to a word. Not in all cases, because hatta is such a word that you'll find hatta make a fatha after a word. Hatta ra'sahu. When he says, akala samaka hatta ra'sahu. Even including his head. Okay, so that has to be looked into, but it's not the focus of this lesson. This lesson is to familiarize yourself just with these words and for you to get the things that you need so that you can memorize these words. And in the poetry, it says, فَالِاسْمُ بِالْخَفْتِ وَبِحُرُوفِ الْخَفْتِ وَهِيَ مِنْ إِلَى وَأَنْ وَفِي وَرُبَّى وَعَلَى والكاف واللام وواو وتاء ومذ ومنذ ولعل حتى. Now follow it with me. فالاسم بالخفض وبالتنوين أو دخول الال يعرف فقف ما خفاه وبحروف الخفض وبالحروف وبحروف I'm sorry.
Maybe you write it in English, no?
No. وبحروف الخفض. Somebody say خفض. وهي من إلى وعن من إلى وعن وفي ربا وعلى. I got to do this in Arabic. وحروف الخفض وهي من إلى وعن وفي وربا. You remember, you rather I say it, okay? Okay. وبحروف الخفض وهي من إلى وعن وفي وربا وبا وعلى وربا وبا وعلى وبحروف الخفض وهي من إلى وعن وفي وربا وبا وعلى والكاف واللام واو وتاء ومذ ومنذ ولعل حتى. Got it. Okay. وبحروف الخفض وهي من إلى وعن وفي وربا وبا وعلى والكاف واللام واو وتاء ومذ ومنذ ولعل حتى. Okay? And there is a poem in English that does this. I have it at my house. I'm going to bring it for you guys next week. It says, Huruful khafdi, well, let's see. There's min, ila, wa, an, and fi, ruba, ala, then kaf, and lam. And then I don't know the rest of it. But I have it at the house. I just forgot to bring it for you guys. I think the other one might be easier for you guys to remember. But you got to memorize this anyway, because this is part of al-ajrumiyya. So you're going to have to go through it anyway. Sometimes it's not good to do the English one. In the place of a classic, leave everything else alone and learn the classic. Okay? So just struggle through it. It's not hard. It's really rhymes. وَبِحُرُوفِ الْخَفْضِ وَهِيَ مِنْ إِلَى وَعَنْ وَفِي وَرُبَّا وَبَا وَأَلَا وَالْكَافُ وَاللَّامُ وَاوٌ وَتَا وَمُذْ وَمُنْذُ وَلَعَلَّ حَتَّى. Millions of people have learned this probably before you. It'll be easy for you. Spend 10 minutes on it and you'll get it. Recite it with me. وَبِحُرُوفِ الْخَفْضِ, with a loud sound. وَبِحُرُوفِ الْخَفْضِ وَهِيَ مِنْ إلى وعن وفي وربا وبا وعلى والكاف واللام واو وتاء ومذ ومنذ ولعل حتى. My teacher used to say it like that, so I say it like that. But you can say hatta, but he used to say hatta. That's just something they do in Mauritania. So learn it, and we're going to go on to the second part of our lesson. Okay? May I erase the board?
Can you explain the meaning of the ka again?
Ka means like, similar to. The tashbih. Okay? Zaydun kal asad, or kal asadi, right? Or a better one would see laysa kamithlihi shay. Okay? Kamithlihi. Right. Yes, I'm listening.
Would you happen to have maybe a copy of this poem in Arabic?
Sure. I mean, you can. In fact, you can get it off the internet. I'm sure you can. But I have a couple of copies of it in Arabic. I can bring it for you guys next week, or if you walk me home, I can give you a copy of it. You know, it's okay. Yeah, you can write this down. Maybe the Imam has a copy in the office. It's a classical text, well known by everybody. Do you have a copy of the Ajrumiyya in there? Because if you have that book, Mutun, Al-Jami al-Mutun, it's in there. No, actually, no, it's not. The one, the Embariti one, the Yemeni one is in there. That's not this one. Yeah, you got to get this one from Mauritania. I don't think this in the... Most people have the other one. There's two classics with regards to Ajrumiyya. There's a Nathar, and the Nathar is a prose. It means it's like regular speech. And then you have this one right here, which is poetry. Poetry is always easier to memorize than the prose. Because if you do the prose, it's like... أجرمي الكلام هو لفظ مركب مفيد بالوضع وأقسامه ثلاثة اسم وفعل وحرف جاء بالمعنى. And I don't even remember how it goes after that exactly. But it's kind of dull, you know, in memorization wise. Still the same thing, but this one it goes with beat. And the thing about poetry is you remember when you lost a piece. You understand what I mean? Because you say it'll go, oh, something's missing here.
It doesn't flow.
Right, it doesn't flow. And then you'll pick it up just by the rhythm, inshallah. Okay.